one speaker at that time came from Paris, France, and she told me, Rajiv, I never visited India, and from media point of view, from when you Google something about India, it looks very scary. I'm like,
Yeah.
ma'am, only one thing I want to say. If you have Googled about the hospitality of India, you feel free, safe, confident. We are excellent in hosting our guests, actually. It would be great to listen you and to know you what you're doing in Chennai, or you're based out of Chennai.
Yeah, I'm based out of Chennai. My husband has a job here, so I work remotely normally. So I'm based out
Okay,
of Chennai, yeah.
very nice, very nice. And he also briefed something about your social initiative, a lot of good thing you are doing there. So it's good to
No,
know
I'm
and
not
to
doing
listen.
anything here. I work
Okay.
remotely. No, I don't have an organization or I don't have an initiative.
Okay.
I work for I'm a management consultant, so I engage
Oh,
with NGOs and I try to
okay.
support them in whatever
That's
areas
another
they
good
want.
way. That's another good way that with all your good experiences, if you are supporting, guiding them and helping them, so it's a good contribution to everyone. So
Yeah.
many people they do things directly, but you are supporting them and guiding them indirectly, and it's somehow it's a great help also. So thanks to Ram Babuji, he's another gem person I can say. Sitting in
Mhm.
which part of the world, apna, I don't know. He keeps traveling, moving in a different time zone, and but he still wants something good to happen from his own initiative. So when he told me
Nice.
about you, Hamle, it would be great to have some conversation. My brief background is I am from Ranchi. My name is Rajeev Gupta, and earlier I worked with government of Bihar and Jharkhand in commercial taxes department. After
Okay.
working 21 years, yeah, that's a long time. But after working
Mhm.
21 years, I just thought to take a break and to explore myself, what I want in my life. So in
Mhm.
2014, I took voluntary retirement from government sector.
Okay.
Later, I joined JSW Steel Company and worked there for 3 years, taking care of the
Mhm.
corporate affair function. Then
Mhm.
I worked with PricewaterhouseCoopers, that is PwC, and I was
Yeah.
heading GST project Government of Jharkhand as a principal consultant.
Okay.
So
Okay.
all my professional engagement till 25 years of my journey, again,
Mhm.
I thought what next actually. That is very important in life to find your what next. So since last
Mhm.
5 years, I'm more into social initiative. I have created a foundation. The name of foundation is Ideate Inspire Ignite Foundation. And my
Okay.
objective is to do some work for betterment of the society in three broader areas. First is adventure sports. Second is art
Mhm.
and culture to promote and to just allow and empower the local community in their own activity if they are good in their art and culture. And third most important thing to give a right blend of knowledge among the young generation through STEM knowledge,
Mm.
scientific knowledge.
Mm.
So through adventure sports, I have hosted more than 50 Mount Everest climber to Ranchi
Oh,
to connect with the
nice.
local community. Yeah, so that's a good
Mm.
good initiative from our side, and they
Yeah.
had come to Ranchi.
Mm.
And apart from that, I'm also organizing TEDx program in Ranchi since last 5 years.
Nice. So you
So,
have the TEDx
yeah,
license?
I have my license name is TEDx Kanke. So, in
Ah,
5 years, we have hosted more than 100 speakers from pan
nice.
India and outside India also. We
Mm.
started this chapter in 2020, and our
Okay.
first speaker, three speakers came from outside India at that time. One
Mm.
is Hannah Kern. I just want to just brief about her. When I contacted Hannah, she told me, Rajiv, I am in Vietnam. So when you are going to organize the program, like 3 years after that, well, let me try. And she came to Ranchi on solo bicycle ride. She's a
Oh,
cyclist. She's a
nice.
cyclist. So she
Mm.
came to Ranchi on solo ride from Vietnam, crossing all international boundary, going to Bangladesh, Northeast, and then she reached to
Wow.
Ranchi.
Mm.
So that kind of
Wonderful.
yeah. So these are some of the things happened in Ranchi. One speaker at that time came from Paris, France, and she told me, Rajiv, I never visited India, and from media point of view, from when you Google something about India, it looks very scary. बोले कि
Yeah.
ma'am, only one thing I want to say, if you have Googled about the hospitality of India, you feel free, safe, confident. We are excellent in hosting our guests actually. So that's what I just briefed about my initiative, what we are doing here in Ranchi. And thanks to Ram Babu, he's a great champion guy and he keeps connecting all great people. So I also wanted to interact and meet and get insights from a different person. So I don't know much about you. He simply briefed something about you that you are associated with some CSR activity and doing a lot of work.
Yeah, I can tell you a bit
Yeah.
about me. My name is Indrani Sharma. I'm based out of
Yeah.
Chennai, but basically I come from the east. I'm a Bengali, so I come from
Okay.
the east with I have my father has a armed forces background, so I've like traveled
Okay.
across India, and then I'm married to somebody from Haryana. So basically, our
Okay.
hometown is Gurgaon.
Okay.
So
Okay.
so at some point we will go back to Gurgaon, maybe like
Okay.
maybe soon. So that's where we belong. So Chennai is like a temporary thing for us, where like just because
Okay.
my husband's transferred here, and probably he'll get transferred out
Okay.
soon. So that's the reason we are
Okay.
here. It's There's
So he's in
nothing else.
corporate or in government? He's in corporate or in government?
Corporate. He has a
Okay. Okay.
he has a joy. He has a job with a multinational company.
Okay.
So
Very nice.
so
Good. Good.
that's what so um I've been working for last 25 years
Okay.
in very specific areas like with social entrepreneurs. Basically, I've been working a
Oh,
lot with networks
okay.
of social entrepreneurs. So basically,
Okay.
networks of social entrepreneurs where we look at kind of collaborations, how people can come together on one cause,
Right.
collaborate on the work that they are doing to scale up their impact by collaborating. So it's
Right.
not
Right.
two people, or like it's like multiple organizations. So I started my work with Ashoka. So I do not know if you know, there are a lot of Ashoka fellows around the world. They're
Okay.
present in more than 100 countries, and in India itself, I think they have more than 400 Ashoka fellows. So
Okay.
Ashoka is an organization that awards its fellowship to help social entrepreneurs kind of work on their ideas, and
Okay.
kind of
Okay.
build their sustainability, and
Okay.
also through networking help them scale.
Okay.
So it's a recognition plus it's a support. So I've worked with Ashoka for a long time, and then apart from Ashoka, I've also worked with organizations on women empowerment. But mostly my role, if you look at, my role has been to kind of look at how we can empower social entrepreneurs to scale up their impact. So,
Right. Right.
so all of the work that I've done is mostly around working with social entrepreneurs, working with founders to look at how they can
Okay.
scale up their impact, how to improve their organizational development plans, how
Okay.
to look at their capacity buildings, how to
Right.
look at
Right.
kind of how they can consolidate if required, and also
Right.
sometimes look at kind of it's not so much. I mean, like when we talk about how to support, people only think like maybe it is fundraising or funding. That is not what that's not
Yes.
kind of what we've been
Mhm.
doing. We've been really working
Okay.
on social entrepreneurs to look at their organization more holistically,
Okay.
to understand kind of how they can grow their organization. So Ashoka has been one organization which works across with all kind of social entrepreneurs across all kind of causes. I've
Okay.
worked with the Humanity Foundation specifically around women empowerment, where again it was a
Okay.
fellowship where we
Okay.
looked at kind of identifying women empowerment models which were ready to scale,
Okay.
and kind of
Okay.
help them. So one of the examples of a model that we thought that could scale is Educate Girls. If you have heard about Educate Girls, they were the recent
Yes.
recipients of the Magsaysay Award. So
Okay.
we've been I'm like I through Humanity Foundation we identified that program, extended our
Okay.
support around organization development, and then help them to grow. I mean, we basically help their organization to prepare them to grow, with the kind of
Okay.
human resources that they
Yeah.
required, the kind of strategies that they required, their own understanding of how they can grow and things like that.
Yes.
So apart from that, I've for last almost 15 years, I've been working quite remotely, and I've been working on like very
Okay.
specific projects, but remotely because first of all, my husband was earlier 5 years back, he was based in Pondicherry. I'm now in
Okay.
Chennai, so I prefer to work at like remote projects where I can travel as necessary and then kind of manage my work remotely. So I've
Okay.
worked with CSR projects like or initiatives like 3M's
Okay.
Young Innovators Challenge Awards. So I've worked for a very long time around building
Okay.
communities around a
Okay.
particular initiative. For example, if we look at building a community, say around sports, or building a community,
Okay.
say around tech for good, or building communities around social innovation, or innovation for development, or innovation for
Mhm.
progress. So those kind of things. So I worked with 3M to create a community of innovators who could be
Okay.
supported for work or innovations that they are doing to
Okay.
impact social sector, or I will say social needs, basically like somebody is working around quality of water, somebody works around improving
Yeah.
agriculture yield, so basically awarding them. So a lot of my experience is around identifying good projects and then
Yeah.
giving them opportunities to talk about their work and get them recognition, which directly impacts their credibility. Because the more people know about you, your work, and the more
Yes.
awards
Yes.
that you get, it adds to your credibility. So that's
Yeah, they
something
also
that I've
need
done. And
they also need a expert advice actually when any company suppose that going for some work in any parts of the country. So as per their business model, they are aware to what to do actually. But as per the social commitment, they need an expert like you or some organization or some agency. When they get all the data, problem statement, what to do and how to just move ahead with their project also, because their
yeah.
priority is to just complete their own professional engagement
Not
and
anymore, not anymore,
yeah,
not anymore, because the
yeah,
government of India now has very stringent laws, and I will say, all the compliances that they need to adhere to has absolute. It's not
true,
easy. I will say it's not easy for
true,
companies. They cannot just do any shoddy work anymore. I mean, they will really need to be really serious about the initiatives that they are funding,
okay,
what they're doing.
okay,
Also, I think with the scrutiny on credibility of NGOs, that is
yeah,
also again something that what companies want to do is make sure that they are investing in the right kind of organization.
okay,
So of late, I'm also working on tech for good projects. So
okay,
basically looking at user experiences where I can look at organizations who can give AI enabled
true,
devices like say Alexa into
yeah,
education and learning spaces or assisted living spaces, and give it
okay,
in a community setup to see how community can benefit from it, and also giving remote communities or rural communities the exposure of such devices and how to use them.
true,
That's something I've been doing. What else? That's all. And of late, I've been more working around like Catalyst Now is one organization which is again a network of a lot of social entrepreneurs and founders who are leading efforts, especially SDG goals
Okay.
and those impact from India. So I'm part of the secretariat where I try to
Okay.
see how to galvanize some collaboration. So my
Correct.
work,
Correct.
instead of kind of trying to do something directly, which people already are good at doing, there are a lot of good work happening. My role is more to catalyze and make sure that I'm able
Yeah.
to create conversations. I'm able
Yeah.
to facilitate connections, and I'm
Okay.
able to kind of, facilitate flow of information that can benefit different stakeholders. So that's what I've been doing, and that's it. So that's a little bit about
So
me.
you do it as a freelancer, or you have a team or associated with some organization so that.
So yeah, so I work as a consultant. I
Okay.
work as a consultant and I work on projects. But of course, I work through for CSR, I work through agencies like The Practice. It's a PR agency.
Okay.
So I
Yeah.
try to work through them on
Yeah.
projects. And the other thing is sometimes also like with Catalyst, because Catalyst is a network and they're not registered in India, so
Yeah.
they have an executive committee. So somebody, I mean, one of the NGOs who are part of the main kind of executive committee, who are
Okay.
responsible for leading the forum. Uh,
Okay.
I work through them, and they basically, I work to support what they are doing, and then they pay for me. I mean, they will
True.
pay my
True.
salary. So it's like that.
Okay.
So that's
Okay.
how I work. Yeah.
It's
But
a good
I do,
engagement. It's a good engagement and very, very pleasing engagement, I can say. You're also
it's
enjoying
tough.
your
It's
freedom
tough.
time
But
and lots of learning. Lots of learning
yeah, it's
also when you
lots
are
of learning, and it's a lots of your own capacity also,
true,
because it's a lot of diverse people. It's not
true,
one
true.
mindset. And also, um, social entrepreneurs have a very different flavor of energies, and they are
Yeah,
very restless because they have so
yeah.
much that they want
It's
to
very
do.
dynamic also. To my understanding, it's very dynamic in the sense
Yeah.
when you are visiting to Bihar or visiting to Jharkhand or any other parts of the country, wherever you will go, you will find a different set of problem. So
Yeah.
there won't be a
Yeah, I understand.
one-stop solution. Okay, I have worked in education sector or health sector or some sporting
Correct.
activity. You cannot replicate the same thing what you have done to Haryana and Punjab, and you just want to make it happen in Bihar or Jharkhand. You need to work
Yeah.
on their strength, their weaknesses. You need to just make a proper structure and design. Okay, in 5 years or in 2 years, in a span of time, what are those inputs or the initiatives taken by those company and corporate. So your role is very important. What I have seen, Manan, that you can also correct me, most of the company, they don't know what to do from the CSR aspect actually. What they are doing, either they are following suggestion and direction and order from government bodies, or some local forces coming to them and requesting them, I just need such kind of help. So your role is very important to identify and just give them a roadmap, basically roadmap, and it will be good and win-win
I
situation
will
for
say that,
everyone.
yeah. Unfortunately, that's what I said. That's really not true, because if you look
Yeah,
at a big company, if you look at
yeah,
maybe a big company like say Google, so
yeah,
they would have their own strategy. Like Reliance, for example, they
yeah,
would have their own strategy that they would have
yeah,
asked a PwC to make kind of and provide to them about what
yeah.
should be their vision, where they should be heading, and kind of having that alignment with their corporate goals.
Correct,
So
correct.
for example, like a Reliance will really look at, say, natural resources or education or something like that.
Yeah,
So
true,
it
true.
has to have some alliance and some alignment with their own corporate goals, and then they
Certainly,
will
certainly.
get a big strategy organization to come and tell them, like, okay, we want to say impact, say, 500,000 people, say in the domain of employability and what should we
Yeah.
do, and these are what we have, and then
Correct.
PwC will tell them, okay, this is what it is, and then basically they will have all big companies have their own foundation now, and the foundations will look for implementation organizations. So basically now NGOs are more implementation organizations, and they will
Correct.
work with the foundations to kind of, say like, say if rely the biggest example is during COVID, because
Yeah.
during COVID, when people government knew that they cannot by themselves, whatever number of missionaries they have, they cannot by
Yeah.
themselves vaccinate everyone. So they they
Correct.
reached out to the NGOs and they said, is it possible that kind of, you help us in implementing the vaccination? And that's when
True.
all the people who are working in, they
Empowerment
came
of na,
through.
yeah.
Yeah. So these are some of the examples. Also, government, there are some things that can be done, like, in silos. There are also things that you really need to
Yeah.
collaborate to scale it up. For example, okay, if you have a very localized problem, for example, if it is like really see access to clean water or something, which is especially access to, say, water only
Yeah.
in some of the catchments in certain region, then that's
True.
fine.
True.
That can be really local, or say level of education, or sometimes biases, those we can understand. But
Yeah.
there are other things which are part of SDGs, like the 17 sustainable development
Correct.
goals. They, whether it is education for all, it is health for all, or it
Yeah.
is
True.
partnerships, it's climate change,
Yeah.
any of
True.
these, you really have, some directions. And I think everybody has aligned, like the social entrepreneur, everybody has aligned. So my experience is that I know that, in the ecosystem of the social, say social sector, you have
Yeah.
different stakeholders at different levels. So
Correct.
of course their experiences are very different and
True.
diverse, which is very unique to them, so which is
True.
good. But when I look at the ecosystem, then I know that there are ways and means where there are alignments and there are some disconnects, of
Yeah.
course. And then we
True.
also know that the government does what it can. I mean, we can't always keep just blaming government for everything, but
Correct.
at the same time, government also is old school, so
Yeah. Correct.
this so some I will say, right now the government, if you look at their planning and strategy level, is really significant. They've done a
True.
lot in achieving a lot of good strategies and identifying a lot of good tools, but implementation is
Correct.
poor, it's really
No, I
poor.
totally agree. I totally agree. They don't have that bandwidth, actually, I say, and they are
Yeah,
not also empowering their local forces, actually. And that's why their work is either being delayed or not getting execution in a proper direction also. So
exactly.
when corporate or such agency ready to just do it up now. So my humble submission even to the government and request to the government, you allow them with a full hand support actually. That is very important. If you'll support them, things will happen. If you'll just direct and order them, this much of thing you need to do by this time frame, so they will get confused and then something might be compromised actually. So, but
Correct.
things are changing, and there is a
Hmm.
good bridge and good kind of catalyst that what you and some other agencies they are doing. It is going to help the local people basically because they need to be addressed and they want something either from the government or from the corporate so that their lifestyle or their problem will be solved. So things are improving, I can say. Time will come. More time will come, and
Hmm.
company should also think in a more holistic way. What I mean to say, holistic way by saying that
Correct.
they don't only just go by their profit motive. Okay, just for the work completion, I am here to support them. But if you really want to empower them for future, if you want
Correct.
to prepare them for future readiness, that is very important. A state like Jharkhand, Bihar, as you have been to West Bengal also, We have seen the problem, the crisis, and the issues with the local and the rural people.
Mm-hmm.
They're still suffering. They're still suffering. I
Yeah.
don't know how things will change and improve. At a government data level, it looks very shiny picture, but
Mm.
when we see the thing at the ground level, when you go to the remote, there is still gap. There is still gap. So how that gap will be addressed, a time will say, and I think everyone will come forward for some better solution. Things are
Mm.
changing, I can say, but still things are changing. A lot of good thing is going to happen through such
Yeah.
CSR activity. My understanding is that we need to be more resilient in the sense that we want to serve the society, and by serving, not only to give something but to empower them. If we
Yeah.
are ready to empower them, things will change. बहुत अच्छा रहेगा ये, and hope so कि everyone will come forward or such initiative will
Hopefully.
help. Yeah, we are hopeful,
Hopefully. Yeah.
optimistic, and that's what I can say. So it's a great
Nice.
listening to you, and we are looking
Thank
forward some
you.
more discussion